This is Overheard Nation, where America's forgotten secrets come to light. Ready to uncover the truth? 1897. The humid air of a West Virginia courtroom hung heavy. Inside, a jury sat, faces set in grim expectation. An accused man, desperate and defiant, awaited his fate. Witnesses were called, their voices recounting events. But on one particular day, a witness addressed that jury. No one in the room, among the living, actually saw her. She was not a physical presence, because she was dead. She had been brutally killed. Yet, against all logic and understanding, she returned. This was no whispered folklore passed down through generations. This was cold, stark reality. It was a true story, unfolding in a tangible place where a spectral entity delivered testimony. This happened within the confines of a real court. The very words spoken by a ghost ultimately contributed to the conviction of a murderer. Such an occurrence had never before been recorded in legal history, and nothing resembling it has ever transpired since. January 1897. Greenbrier County, a quiet place. Death shattered its stillness. Elva Zona Heaster, a young woman, newly married to a blacksmith, Erasmus Shue. She was found dead. A boy, sent by Shue, discovered the body. The doctor arrived, examined, quickly, pronounced his verdict, everlasting faint, then heart attack. No questions asked, no investigation. The body prepared for burial. But Shue acted strangely, very strangely. He never left the coffin, not for a moment. Placed a pillow under Zona's head, wrapped a scarf around her neck. Said she complained of neck pain. It sounded like care to others, but one woman felt the truth, Zona's mother, Mary Jane Heaster. She believed none of it, not a single word. At the tragedy's core stood Elva Zona Heaster, the victim. Her life ended silently. Her mother, Mary Jane Heaster, the main hero. Desperate, she refused the lie. She fought. And Erasmus Shue, the husband? Charm on the surface, darkness within. He hid secrets, dark, deadly. But there was another, a witness from another realm. Zona's ghost herself. She came back to speak, to demand justice. The conflict brewed, brutal. The official version, an accident. Against it, a mother's intuition. And against it, the unbelievable, intervention from beyond. The stakes soared, not just to reveal murder, but to prove a truth beyond reason. Mary Jane knew something was wrong. Her daughter was healthy, her son-in-law suspicious. But how to begin? The body was buried. Cause of death, official. The path to justice seemed severed. Absolutely. 4 weeks passed after the funeral. A shock. Mary Jane Heaster experienced something. Zona began to visit her, at night, in her home. First, a shadow. Then, visions grew clearer. Zona's ghost spoke. She told her how she died. Shue had raged. No meat for dinner. He grabbed her, twisted her neck, violently. Zona came to me. She told me that her husband killed her. Mary Jane Heaster would declare in court. A shockwave hit the room. The mother did not yield. She demanded exhumation. Zona's body was raised from the earth. On her neck, bruises. Her throat was broken. It was murder. Erasmus Shue was arrested, charged with murder. The trial began. Mary Jane Heaster testified, with unbelievable claims. Shu's lawyer attacked, tried to make her seem insane, laughed in court. But the mother stood firm, unshaken. She repeated the ghost's words. The jury? Perhaps they did not believe in spirits. But the facts, the details, they stunned them. The mother of the deceased, Mrs. Mary Jane Heaster, stated that the deceased, Zona Heaster, her daughter, had appeared to her, newspapers reported. Unprecedented. Shu was found guilty. Life imprisonment. He died in prison 3 years later. To the end, he claimed, his wife's ghost haunted him. Elva Zona Heaster. She became the Greenbrier Ghost forever. The Greenbrier Ghost story, more than a horror tale, it was a scream of a mother's love, her fight for truth. It forced reflection. Were there boundaries between the living and the dead? When justice was needed, could something, beyond our grasp, intervene in earthly matters? This story was no mere case. It was a stark reminder some secrets were too terrible to stay buried, and sometimes, for truth to break free, intervention was required from another world. The Greenbrier Ghost story, more than a horror tale, it was a scream of a mother's love, her fight for truth. It forced reflection. Were there boundaries between the living and the dead? When justice was needed, could something, beyond our grasp, intervene in earthly matters? This story was no mere case. It was a stark reminder some secrets were too terrible to stay buried, and sometimes, for truth to break free, intervention was required from another world. So, what do you believe? Can the dead truly speak? And can their whispers change the course of justice in our world?
The world is full of forgotten stories, and even more shocking secrets await you. Subscribe to Overheard Nation